What's going on, everybody? It is almost September, and for our Western US friends, that means elk hunting, and specifically archery elk hunting, which is honestly some of my favorite time to be in the woods. Some of the more interactive elk hunting that you do, really of any big game hunting, it's some of the more interactive time you can have in the woods. Now, it's a lot of fun bugling back and forth with a bull, but what happens if you suck? All right? I will say I am not the best. I haven't found a diaphragm call that fits absolutely perfectly that I can just rock every single time. I'm not terrible with them, but elk are intelligent creatures and I'm trying to outsmart them. So despite the fact that I have heard some absolutely gnarly real life bull elk that just sound like they are dying, I am trying to have the most realistic sounding bugle that I can. On that note, we're gonna enter this bad boy. All right, and not specifically the bugle tube, although that matters a little bit. We'll talk about that later. I'm talking about the mouthpiece, all right? The EZ Bugler from Phelps. Now, like I said, just a mouthpiece pops right off your bugle tube, all right? You can see the diaphragm call, the reed is built right into it. It makes it a whole lot easier to fit correctly in your mouth. There are some drawbacks to this bad boy. It only fits on Phelps bugle tubes, and specifically the Unleashed version 2 or their metal tube, all right? You can buy the mouthpiece for 30 bucks or you can buy the whole setup for 60, all right? If you buy the whole setup, just pops on. They also send a standard mouthpiece, so if you want to use diaphragm calls, you still can. Size-wise, it's pretty standard for a bugle tube. You do have some mini bugle tubes out there, but this is pretty standard with what I've worked with in the past. It's not crazy heavy, it's not crazy big. It's not really gonna make a huge difference in your pack. Now, where it has made a huge difference for me is the consistency on my ability to produce a quality bugle. Like I said, in the past, I've had problems really consistently producing, all right? I would have one that sounded exactly like it was supposed to, and then one that sounded like I was representing a dying elk. So this bad boy has really let me be a lot more consistent with it. Now, there are some drawbacks to it. I'm gonna handle those first because, I mean, everybody likes a little drama, right? So the two big things I do not like about this is the reeds seem to wear out a little bit faster, all right? A replacement reed pack comes with two. It's only 13 bucks. It's not crazy expensive, but I can tell you that they seem to wear out a little bit quicker than a standard diaphragm call. And I can tell you that that is not a Phelps thing because the diaphragm calls I use are from Phelps. So I think it's just unique to this mouthpiece and this design for the product that they wear out a little bit quicker than a standard Phelps diaphragm call. Now, the other thing I don't love about this is I don't love the sound it makes for a cow call. You can make it work. It's not the end of the world, and it's not so terrible that I wouldn't use it in a pinch in the woods, but I still think that a diaphragm call is a little bit better. I'll still keep some on me for that cow calling. Now, like I said, for me, jumping into the pros, the big thing is this has allowed me to be a lot more consistent. And it's a lot quicker. I don't have to search, find my diaphragm call on my clip, on my backpack or whatever. It's just ready to go at all times. So, not that you run into a lot of situations where you're speed bugling, but if you do, or if you're constantly losing diaphragm calls, this is another solution. But you guys probably want to hear how this sounds. Now, keep in mind, mic here, no mic out here. It may not sound perfect. And with that said, I am not a professional at this at all right? I can carry my own weight somewhat with a bugle tube, but there are going to be a lot of people that can make this sound a lot better, all right? Also, the reed's a little bit older. It's coming into my elk hunt. I'm not gonna change it out. I've just been practicing. So, super easy to work. You just stick this black chunk in your mouth, stop laughing, get your mind out of the gutter, all right? And use your bottom lip to control this little slot between the diaphragm call and the plastic piece. And then you just let her rip. Like I said, the acoustics may not be the best in here, but I can tell you that is far superior to what I typically produce from a diaphragm call. Again, Phelps, all right? They're the maker of this, Phelps Game Calls, EZ Bugler. It's money well spent, guys. If you have the chance to really look at a piece of gear and say, this is greatly going to improve my abilities, especially for the price, it's hard to beat. I'm Matt with Deer and Donuts. I hope you guys got something out of this. I hope I see you next time. Goodbye.